Welcome to week number 1 in Science 214 here at SNHU, everyone. It's so good to have you in the class. My name is Dr. Janie Sigmon. If you haven't read my bio, go and look at that and watch the little video that I have there. I also told you in that video that every week I will post announcements, but I will also make a video for that particular week telling you about the assignments, telling you about the science that we're doing, and giving you tips and tricks and advice on what we're doing in that particular week. So here is my video for week number 1. This is a picture of some puffins that I took when I went to Scotland in May of 2023. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. It was a nature tour. And the one thing that I wanted to see was puffins, and we got to see them, and here are some of my pictures. Well, there's one of my pictures. So let's see what we've got going on. I've already welcomed you to the class. This class is all about citizen science. So you are non-science majors in a science class, and there is something called citizen science. And I have made my own definition, which you will see me do from time to time. I will condense things. You'll find this out. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more under the sources. But here's my definition, and I'm just going to read it because I wrote it. Scientific research conducted by amateur scientists, meaning, members of the general public, in order to make discoveries, solve problems, or effect change. So it's people who are not scientists who are doing science in order to help the world and especially help their communities. And I gave you an example in that video in my bio of Lyme disease in Connecticut and how 2 mothers in that community noticed that there were an awful lot of cases of juvenile arthritis and other types of illnesses, but mainly this juvenile arthritis in the children that was way more than anyone would expect in a community. And so they pushed for an examination of this problem, and they took it to the state health department in Connecticut. A study was done, and it was found that there were ticks in the area, and there are a number of different ticks, and they carried a bacterium called Borrelia burgdorferi, which causes Lyme disease. And this explained the cases of juvenile arthritis. So this is an example of citizen science. There's all kinds of examples of it. I have an issue going on right now in my neighborhood because there is a company that's trying to build a solar panel manufacturing plant near my community, and people around this area are up in arms because of what the effects might be from this manufacturing process. And that's just in my neighborhood. So citizen science is happening everywhere. It can happen on a huge scale, or it can happen in a small subdivision like my issue. So that is citizen science, and we're going to look at science through this viewpoint. You have sources that you need to go take a look at. Find these under Module 1, Resources, Citizen Science. So there are 3 readings that you can do and 1 video. And the video is very good, and it's very short, and it's made by SNHU about communicating to different audiences. And this is terribly important for anybody in any situation in this life. If you are presenting information to someone, you have to know how much they already know and why they would be interested in this topic. Those are the 2 main things that you need to know. And then you tailor your presentation to deliver that information and to make your audience be interested in what you're saying. So that's a good video. Okay, so then you've got the 3 readings, right? So the first one, I don't know. So the first one is about 15 pages of definitions of citizen science. I just gave you one. Skim through it. But like I said, skim through it because literally it is all about definitions of citizen science. The second one is okay. It has some information in it. But the third one is the good one. And it's actually the last thing that's listed as one of your sources. So go look at that one and get the information from there, because it's more understandable for one thing. And it gives you a lot more basic information than the other two do. I don't know why it takes somebody 15 pages to give you every definition under the sun of a citizen scientist. I don't see. This is what I'm saying about why you need to watch these videos, because you don't want to spend 2 hours reading that first source and trying to figure out what in the world you're supposed to be getting out of it. Okay, so take a look at your sources. The video and the last one are the best ones, so go take a look at them and focus on them. All right, then you've got some things due this week. You've got discussion board postings. If you've ever taken a course online at SNHU, you know about discussion board postings. If you haven't, if this is your first course, welcome. And let's talk about the discussion board posting. So a discussion board is a place where we can all communicate with each other. So everybody can see everything on the discussion board. I can see it, you can see it, all your classmates can see it. So you're going to make an initial post by Thursday night. And this is always before midnight. Every initial post for every week this term is due by Thursday night. Introduce yourself. Tell us something about you. Tell us what your major is, where you live, what your family situation is if you feel inclined to do that. Tell us about your pets. I always love to hear about pets. Just saying. And I love to see pictures too. Hobbies, what you like to do for fun, what you plan on doing once you get your degree, and all that sort of thing. Tell us about you. And this way we can build a community. We can get to know each other. And it's always very interesting for me to read who you guys are. I've already introduced myself to you, so you know a little bit about me. All right, how has STEM affected your life? And of course, you need to know what STEM means. Science, technology, engineering, and math. So it's all the science-related disciplines, right? So how has STEM affected your life in some way? Maybe you take a medicine, right? A lot of us take medications. Where do they come from? Discovery. Somebody has to do the research in order to develop new medications. Climate change. Maybe you're concerned about that. Maybe you're looking into buying a hybrid vehicle or an electric vehicle. And the list goes on and on. Maybe you love the great outdoors like I do. And you can't stand pollution. You can't stand the way that they manage wildlife management areas. I may have a little issue with that. How has STEM affected your life? And discuss a scientific issue impacting your local community. So if it were me, I would choose that solar panel manufacturing facility that's going in near me. That's what I would choose, because that is one environmental topic that's right here and right now in my community that affects my subdivision. So that's what I would choose. And what are your questions and concerns about this issue? What questions do you have about it? What kind of concerns do you have? How has it impacted your community, or how will it impact your community? You can say that too. And how can you participating as a citizen scientist affect the outcome or solve this issue? If you don't speak up, what will happen? If you do speak up, what will happen? Can you band people together to get them to unite their voices and oppose something that's happening near you? So take a look at that, think about it, and see what you think. Then you are going to respond to 2 of your classmates' initial posts. These are due by Sunday evening before midnight. Always before midnight. Discuss what you have in common. Do you live in the same part of the country, same part of the world? Are you from a military background? Do you have 2.3 kids? Do you love cats? What are your hobbies the same or different, or anything? What do you have in common? And then what do you think about their issue? Because they've picked something that is local to them. Well, it doesn't have to be local. It can be something as big as climate change. But what do you think about their issue? And what do you think about citizen science and how this is going to affect their issue and whether the problem can be solved? So this needs to be a discussion. This is not just like answer a question. This is a discussion. So these are going to be paragraphs of information that you're putting in the discussion board. That is a snowy egret right there. Okay. And then you have a journal assignment. This is a paper that you write. This is your first journal assignment. And the first thing that you need to do is to choose a big topic. Yeah, these are big topics. Water quality, air pollution, climate change, anything having to do with energy, which also has to do with climate change, and the environment. There are just so many issues in all 5 of those topics right there. Choose your topic, and now what you're going to do is investigate and find the most relevant and recent information about this particular issue, and you can narrow this down some. Like, you may only want to know about the water quality in a river near you, right? You don't have to do water quality all over the entire world. You can narrow these down. So you're going to have to include relevant data. All right. How are you going to find that? There's some information in Module 1 on these different topics. But if you want more relevant data, especially if you narrow down your topic, go to the Shapiro Library and do a search. The Shapiro Library is a wonderful resource for us because it is such a huge library that we have access to full text articles from everywhere. So type in a search, make sure you narrow it down enough to where you find relevant articles, books, whatever it is on your specific topic. You got to use enough search terms, but use the Shapiro Library. I will give you a couple of other databases that you can also use, but we'll do that maybe next week. For right now, just start with the Shapiro Library if you need more information. Explain your rationale for selecting the topic. Why did you choose this topic? Why are you interested in this, right? So get to the meat of it. Here's my issue. Explain it. Give some data. Give the background information about it. And then why did you choose it? Explain how your topic impacts all types of justice. Equity. Does it affect different parts of the population in different ways, which also includes social justice? What about environmental justice? Does this particular topic affect some people who live in some areas more than other people who live in other areas and other parts of the environment? So, how does this impact different groups of people? And then finally, describe how you're going to communicate this information about the topic with someone who doesn't know about it. So you're going to have to figure out, what is your strategy for presenting this information to them? What are you going to have to do? Are you going to have to give some definitions? You're definitely going to have to explain things. And you're going to have to explain all the rest of this, why you think this is important, what you have found about this so far, right? So that is your journal assignment for this week. You got your discussion board postings, 3 of them, three, and 1 journal assignment for this week. And with that being said, I am here to facilitate your learning. I'm here to help you. I am a scientist. I've been a scientist for a really long time, and I've even participated in citizen science. I have recorded different bird sightings on websites, help people understand about dolphins when I go to the beach, and help educate people about dolphin strand feeding and bird behavior and all that sort of thing. There's all kinds of things that I've done outside of even my profession. So I'm here to help you in any way that I can. If you have any kind of question, I promise you I will get back with you within 24 hours, and sometimes it's immediately. If I'm sitting there on my phone and a message pops up, I will answer you. So I will get back with you as soon as I can. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever, or if you're having any trouble. Say, for example, you have a lot of trouble focusing when you're reading, right? A lot of people have that now. But I sure had it with that first source that I was reading about citizen scientists. Anyway, if you're having some issue, even going through the information, please just let me know, because I can give you pointers. I can help you, and I can tell you what's important. That's what I'm trying to do with these videos too. I'm trying to tell you what's the most important thing to look at and consider, and the particular resources for you to take a look at and to use. I can help you narrow down a topic. There's all sorts of things that I can do to help you. Just let me know if you need help. Dr. Janie Sigmon, m.sigmon@snhu.edu. That's my email message, my email address. Just let me know. With that being said, I hope that you have a wonderful week this week.